flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go Cubbies, Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable loser. Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable losers. Son Ranto.
Finally, because
oh my God, they did it for a second time.
Well, kind of. I quibble with that a little bit, but welcome to the Son Ranto Show, where we are enjoying a series win. My name's Danny Rocket. I'm joined here by Michael Cotton. Crawl will be along in a little bit. He's actually going to Club 400 right now to plan the Marcus Stroman event. He's going to pop on at some point, and we've got the guy who broke the news of Frank Schwindel sitting in the middle seat on a flight to San Diego after we all thought that he had been sent down. He broke the news because he was on the same flight as Frank the Tank. Poor Frank got himself the middle seat, but Jack Pastovic, who's actually at the game right now, is going to find a nice quiet place to come and join us on the show very shortly. And as always, chance for a chance. I have Frank Chance, they're falling from the sky. I have Frank Chance postcards. And if you hashtag Chance into the chat, you could win a postcard sent to you by me. And the reason, Michael, I quibble with your concept of a series win is because originally the opening series of the year, which you're counting as winning 2 of 3,
right,
was actually a 4-game series in which one of the games was washed out and will technically be played at the end of May this month. So
what you're saying is
today's the first series win.
Today's first, because that series could still get tied at a later date.
Correct.
I'm with you. I've always wondered about that. Like, people in the chat tell us, like, how do you handle those things? Because just a lot of times they'll put those with another series. You know, there'll be like a 3-game series. They'll make it a 4-game series. And then which series do you actually consider that a part of? And yeah, I'm with you, Danny. I think I consider that a part of the series we had at the beginning of the year, which means that they may not win that series.
Yeah, I agree. Well, before, so we agree. So there's nothing to argue about. Otherwise, I would sit here and argue with you for hours about whether it was.
I just agreed with you for 5 minutes. I don't know what your fucking problem is.
So, but without further ado, just so we can let him get on his merry way, why don't we bring Jack Pastovic on right now? Jack from Jack Murphy Stadium. I'm kidding. It used to be called Jack Murphy. It's now called Petco Park. Where are you exactly? It looks like you're in some sort of club.
I am. So we played the Stubhub game and ended up getting $50 tickets to some club. Unfortunately, alcohol was not included. It was just crappy hot dogs and nachos. But this is going to work for the for the podcast here.
Well, I imagine they were good seats. You were right down front to watch this this W today.
We were actually in the 200 level, but we were in these big lounge chairs, and it felt like I was at a movie theater or something. It was pretty cool. So the last minute Stubhub deal worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah, well,
that's really
StubHub,
nice.
And if you're gonna use StubHub, of course, use our links at sunranto.com/StubHub, like you did, right, Jack?
Yeah, I definitely did that.
Put you on the
spot. Okay, I have a question here, Jack. Did the Cubs at any point ask you to come down and take an at bat? Because apparently you were on the team flight to San Diego, right?
I was, and they gave me an aisle seat and Frank the middle seat. So
I'm going to put this up right now, Jack. You tweeted out, you tagged me, you tagged Bleacher Nation, and I think Sahadev, I think you tagged or something.
Yeah.
And you said Frank Schwindel is on my flight to San Diego and sitting in a middle seat. So I take it your flight was full. Frank the Tank, if people don't know the story, apparently he got a flat tire, and that's why he didn't drive to Iowa, because he was like, oh, I'll fix it tomorrow. It's Sunday, and the place is closed. So instead, the team gets COVID, and he ends up on a flight to San Diego with you, basically. I mean, so how did you recognize him? Like, were you walking down the aisle and you're like, wait a second, that's Frank Schwindel. Tell me the story. What happened?
Or was he wearing an obvious T-shirt that just says, I am Frank Schwindel?
No, so actually, we were in the concourse. We just got through security, and I recognized him, walked past him. I said, "Frank?" I said, "Yeah, hey, what's up?" And at the time, I thought he was getting on a flight to go to Iowa or something. And I said hi to him. I said, "Frank, we're rooting for you to get back as soon as possible. We want to see you back at Wrigley, and we're rooting hard for you to get back." And he said, "Thanks," and that was it.
He could have told you right then. He's like, actually, I'm going to San Diego. I'm going to the whale's vagina to get me a little action.
Exactly. I was thinking he was boarding a flight to Des Moines, but and then we went on our way. We're waiting at the gate, and then about a half hour later or so, we were boarding the plane, and I'm walking back to the back of the plane in my the back of the plane, and there he is sitting in the aisle seat in his black polo, which I've actually seen him wear. I think in a lot of the selfies are walking into Wrigley. It doesn't have a Cubs logo or anything on it, but just his standard black polo. It might be one of his favorite shirts or something.
Did you give him the nod? You know, like, what's up, Frank? And then
no, he was zoned in on his headphones, and I was just more shocked to see him on a plane to San Diego, because I didn't even think it was possible that he could rejoin the team. I guess there's some COVID rules or something with how it worked out, or another injury. But
yeah, I was so confused the next day when I saw when I saw your tweet, and then I was like, well, why are they why didn't they send him to Des Moines? Like, is he going to work with the team still or something? I was so confused. And then to find out he was playing, I didn't know what was happening.
Maybe he got a connecting flight that went through San Diego to Des Moines. They're like, it's the only thing we could find you, Frank. Sorry.
It's a 12-hour flight to Des Moines.
So, well, that's fun. We got the series win. It was a nice day for it. And, I mean, what are you seeing from the Cubs out there? I mean, you watched all 3 games?
Yeah, we came out here, watched all 3 games. We got to see one of Kyle Hendricks' best starts of his career on Monday, and that was awesome to see. I wanted to see him get the final out there, but
we're going to talk about
that's going to come up,
yeah,
because somebody, like the only person in the world, is pissed about this. And that somebody is me.
Yeah, well, and you, Jack, because you could have witnessed history. In fact, like if you remember that Maddox that he threw, I was going to bring this up later in the show, but since we're talking about it, that Maddox he threw against the Cardinals in 2019, that was like the game was like 2 hours long, and he just mowed him down. That game had a game score of like 82, I think, and this one had a game score of 84, according to
how does that even
canceled idiot Bill James.
Yeah, how does that even make sense? I don't understand.
Because he had that, I think it was opening day 2020, we had that 81 pitch game against the Brewers. I wonder where that one would have ranked on that scale. But no, it was that was awesome. Then yesterday, I was one of those people. As soon as the ball hit the bat hit Frank's bat last night, I thought it was a get out the tape measure home run, but it didn't work out that way. But that would have been a fun way to cap off the trip last night, seeing him in the middle seat and then a walk-off or a go-ahead grand slam, but it wasn't to be last night.
I mean, regardless, he actually did hit the ball fairly well. I mean, he was slumping really bad, and so doing anything out there was a positive sign. And I thought he hit fairly well today.
Oh yeah, a nice double, 2 RBI double today off the wall, and yeah, he hopefully he gets it together. He's such an awesome guy, and funny story.
From now on, whenever somebody's slumping, they force them to fly to San Diego in a middle seat.
Yeah,
exactly. Econo.
It's the new Mark Grace slump buster. they throw you on an airplane and make you uncomfortable as possible, and then it's perfect. It's almost the same as having sex. So, well, Jack, we'll let you go. Congratulations on breaking the news, and thanks for tagging us in it. Of course, I'm going to let you get on your merry way. Maybe they could eat another crappy hot dog, because Lord knows they're not good there. They probably Put ketchup on it, just like they do out there. I'm sure or some fancy sauce, fancy clam sauce.
You got it. They got a big bowl of ketchup over there. I'll stay away from that. But thanks, guys. Good to talk to you.
All right, thanks for coming on, Jack. Rock on.
Thanks, Jack.
Oh man, that was fun. Can you imagine? I've accidentally broken news before, even drunkenly on this show, and I was like, Arrieta's going to be a Cub, I heard. And we're like, what? So, but that's fun. He's just getting out of flight. He's like, Frank Schwindel. Wait, you're supposed to. I've got breaking news.
Well, and to just have the wherewithal of it, right? To realize
what you're looking at.
Yeah, what you're looking at. Because you can see people all the time. I mean, Frank Schwindel does have a rubber face that everybody loves to see do weird things, but he is not necessarily a standout human. You don't look at him and oh, that's Shaquille O'Neal.
No, nobody except a Cubs fan would be like Frank the Tank.
I know, right?
No other team, not even teams we play often, they would not recognize him.
So, he was in the middle seat. He tried to talk to the flight attendant. He's like, I'm actually a major league. Whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Sit down.
You're not a Hall of Famer baseball person like Tony La Russa. So before we get into this, I do want to mention that we are going to be doing a post-show conversation on the Colorcast app. If you haven't downloaded Colorcast, do so and follow Sun Ranto Show, and we'll talk right after we talk here. But to you, and you can come on the show and make a show with us. It's kind of the idea.
Yeah, you can, just like what Jack did, you can do, but nobody will be looking at you.
And also, if you're a Patreon supporter, which you should be along with the other 110 people who are, then
we're
getting
more
knocked
than
around. Yeah, we're going 108, 107, 111. We're getting knocked around right now, but we'll see. It's the flux of support that the Sun Ranto Show.
It's like my Twitter account that just constantly goes up and down by about 4.
Yeah, it depends if we're talking about political crap, whether we lose people or not. But we're going to go on the Colorcast app. I just dropped the link in the chat, and you can download it, and you can talk to us afterwards. But let's talk about these games, and I do want to start with the Hendo game because, man, oh man, we're sitting here bad-mouthing him. We're like, he doesn't really have it anymore. It's going to be Dr. Hendo and Mr. Kyle. And this was definitely a Dr. Hendo situation that we got. 8.2 innings.
Oh my God.
It
fucking makes me angry.
That's so good though.
26 outs.
26 outs. It's amazing.
In a shutout. A 26 out shutout.
Yeah. And no, he pitched great. 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk. This was kind of classic Hendo right here. This is what you want to see. I still kind of don't. He's had 2 like this year, right? So I still don't necessarily trust it altogether because I still think we're going to see some Mr. Kyles in there from time to time.
Yeah, it's
not going to be the same as it was, but it'll be good. And he said he loved working with Gomes, and so if I'm Wilson Contreras, I take that as a slight, and I know he probably did, knowing him, but I'm saying that he loved working with Gomes. He talked about setting up the fastball and then coming in on the change, and I saw a lot of Bugs Bunny swings in this game. And that's where you're getting the 7 Ks, and man, oh man, it was a thing of beauty. I didn't get to watch this one live, but I did get to watch it later. And
I know.
Fast forward through it, but man, oh man, I was just I just loved every. That was a fun one to see.
I stayed up as long as I could, and then I went to bed, and then I got up in the morning to and started checking it out, and that's when I found out that David Ross gave the middle finger to every fucking baseball fan that's ever lived at the end of that game. I couldn't believe it.
Do you think it was because Kyle, right before that, he goes out there and he's like, I'm not going out. And he walked right past Rossi and he's like,
yeah, Rossi put his hand out, shaking his hand, you're done. And he's like, fuck you, which he should be. He's got a 6-run lead.
Yeah, he could have finished it.
It's a fucking shutout. And you're not going to let him go into the ninth? Fuck you. You know, he's at 100. He was at like 101 pitches or less than 100.
Oh, yeah, in the ninth. But then
going into the ninth, he was less than 100 pitches. You remember I was talking about this.
One guy.
I was talking about this all last year, right? All last year, 92 pitches. That was the fucking magic number. For some reason, regardless of anything else happening in the world, if he hit 92 pitches, he better come the fuck out of the game because, you know, the world's going to stop spinning on his axis and fucking people are going to die all over the planet. No, this is what I'm talking about. Like these fucking math assholes have ruined our game. We are baseball fans. We're not math fans. We're not statistics fans. Look, I get it. Maybe number 92 is a thing, but guess what you should do with that? You should fucking just kind of pay attention at that point, right? This is when some things might start happening. Let's just watch. Well, he seems to be kicking ass right up to 92. Maybe he can go a little longer. Or maybe, you know, where he tells him to fuck off. I'm going back out. He goes out. Yes, he gives up the one walk, but he got fucking 2 out. He's 1 out away. Okay, last year, let's go with a little bit of numbers since everybody seems to like some fucking math around here. 4,860 games. That's about what the entire major leagues played last year. There were 50 shutouts. Or no. There are 50 complete games.
Yeah.
50. That is 1%. 1% of all the games. And guess what happened last year? Last year was the most no-hitters ever thrown. It was a pretty fucking good year for pitchers, and they only hit 50. Right?
Well, it's because some of those no-hitters were combined, like the one that the Cubs threw, and the Mets threw one with 5 guys, which, I mean, that should maybe not count as a no-hitter anymore, I think, even though it's like a team effort.
Okay, we'll get to that too.
People in the chat, Kerry Myers says Kyle was fine with it. He said he was surprised.
Fuck no, he was not fine with it.
Kyle said it was a terrible walk. Pincus says he was done.
He was not.
Vasky agrees.
Talking about he was fucking done. No, he was throwing 89 mile per hour in the first inning. Guess what his last pitch was? 88 mile per hour. That's not because he lost a mile per hour. It's because he can't fucking throw fast.
At the same time, though, I was at the Mets' first no-hitter ever that Johan Santana threw, okay? That guy let him go 130 pitches, and he never pitched again. Like, there's no point to it.
But this is different.
Why are you trying to hurt Kyle Hendricks? Why are you trying to hurt him, Michael? Why are you trying to hurt our
fucking human being? Kyle Hendricks does not throw as hard as Johan Santana did.
Dominic says he was out of gas.
I don't know if people
are.
David Ross went out there and he fucking looked at him. He's like, "Really? You're gonna do this?"
No, I don't know if people are just trying to make you angry.
Hold on. After the game, they're talking to him, and he fucking made a point to say, "Well, you know, I was feeling pretty good late in the game. You know, like." I was still feeling pretty good late in the game and blah, blah, blah. Like, but nobody asked him. Like, how do you not fucking ask somebody? You were 1 out away. He wasn't fucking done.
Tim DeHay
what are you
says,
fucking people talking about?
He was done. John Pickett says you are dumb. I mean, people are just coming in.
He had a fucking 6-run lead. He had a 6-run lead.
I don't know, man.
And a fucking shutout going. You let him go. You might. What the fuck? All you people. Oh, he was done. He was done. Yeah, he was almost done.
People are putting crying.
He had enough to go to the next fucking out. And guess what? There's a lot of ways to get a motherfucker out. Guess what? There isn't. Guess what? There isn't. There is no fucking way for any player to ever hit a 7-run home run. It can't happen. You fucking dumb shits. It's baseball. You let him fucking get his out. You let him get his fucking name in the books. Like, this is what it's about.
Tim DeHate says talking loud don't make a difference.
Wait.
Kyle was done.
No, oh my fucking God. You know what?
7-run
you all.
homer coming up. Cubstradamus was predicting it.
Oh my God. All you fucking people are dumb as shit. Fuck you all.
You're getting trolled so hard by our fans right now. All the listeners
and they're all fucking wrong. They're all wrong because Kyle Hendricks can get a fucking another out with a 6-run lead.
I don't know.
Fuck you guys. That's some dumb shit right there. And you know what? Maybe he was tired, but he didn't want to fucking come out of that game. He wanted the last out. Why do you not give him that? Let the guy do the thing. And for everybody who's saying, oh, well, we got to worry about the team. This team fucking sucks. They're not doing anything. And Kyle Hendricks is never going to get another fucking contract from these people. Like, they all hate him in the fucking front office. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. So
Carrie Meyer writes in, I pay you money to call me a dumb shit?
You know what? I'll call anybody a dumb shit if they're going to fucking say stupid shit. Like, that's dumb.
Michael's independently wealthy, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, plus, on the flip side of that, I don't see any of that money.
Yeah, he made his money in Bitcoin. Maybe if I paid Michael for this, he wouldn't call the listeners names.
No, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not these fucking asshole marquee fucking shitbags that actually, they're like, oh, well, I got to fucking toe the corporate line here. I can't believe that nobody is fucking like, everybody's just like, yeah, 26 outs. That's when you pull a fucking guy that has a 6-run lead in a shutout.
Listen, we are 23 minutes into the show, and 12 of it is you ranting about 26 outs. So
it's fucking stupid. That's why.
But we have dumber things to talk about. Don't you see? Plus a color cast.
No, we actually don't have anything more. That's a fucking microcosm of the problem with this fucking game now. This is fucking David Ross being told by a fucking pencil pusher that this guy can't get one out.
We've won 2 of 3, and like this is just the way it is. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to hurt Kyle Hendricks. Like, dude,
you're right. This is the way it is.
This is the way it is.
So now that the fucking math is taking over and we got fucking DH, you're just supposed to fucking say, well, that's fine. I guess it's fine.
But the math changes.
Thank you, sir. Please give me another.
The math changes. Like, for example, in this series, right before the last one we did at the preview, I said the Padres hadn't thrown anybody out. So what did the Cubs do, like on the base paths, as far as stealing? Well, guess what? Now they have, because the Cubs ran rampant. We got caught stealing a lot of times, including in this first game when Seiya Suzuki got picked off, and you've seen a lot of aggressive base running that both got us runs and also lost us runs. And I think both things happened in this series. So like I'm saying, like that math has changed over the years. Whereas like before, it was like, we got to sit there and swing out of our shoes to get a home run at all costs. And we're never going to try to steal a base because we don't want to run in the outs on the base paths. Well, now, because all the catchers suck and all the pitchers don't pay attention to any of the runners because nobody was running, now the Cubs are like more teams are running. And so you see like a different situation.
Danny,
that's
as
also
I've heard you say before, bad teams steal bases.
They do.
You've said that, and you are correct.
But
if you were a shit team, you fucking run. But you got no other way to score.
But I think that can change. And when you see situations with like a dead ball, like Frank the Tank hit one of the warning track in game 2, which would have been a go-ahead grand slam, and those shits are dying on the track, and I guess it doesn't carry as far as night. Then you're like, well, I guess we can't do it that way. And
that's what I love. Everybody's bitching about the fucking, the ball doesn't fly out like it does before, like, now the game sucks. It's like, no. It is supposed to be hard to hit a home run.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hard. And you saw what happened today, right? Today, when it's fucking daytime and hot, the ball's going out. So it had, it wasn't a ball. It was when they were playing the game. So if baseball really wants to have better games and do this, maybe you have some more fucking day games, you dumb shits, instead of fucking having it in the fucking night.
There we agree.
Humid.
Maybe I should just leave the Michael Cotton ranting process up because you're fired up. You got me sweating.
I'm pissed off about this fucking Kyle Hendricks thing. I am really fucking annoyed. And I'm annoyed at having to listen to fucking Snot Rocket Shambi and the Red Baron fucking shit pizza, like calling these games like they're assholes, right? And talking about fucking, well, the exit velocity was 103 miles per hour and the launch angle was 4, and that ball got caught at the warning track. It's weird because that's exactly the same launch angle and velocity as Frank the Tank last night, and that one got caught too. And I don't understand why they did the exact same thing and why they aren't going out of the ballpark.
And that is an example of the math changing. So Sciambi is like, well, the expected batting average was 400 on that ball, and now why? But instead it got caught. Now the batting average will be expected at 398, and then it'll be 396, and then it'll go down from there, and like things will change and the math will change, and then they'll shut up about it. So I'm just saying,
but they won't fucking, they're doing this shit all the time. And those of us who actually watch this fucking game and don't just look at spreadsheets all day, we understand that a fucking 103 mile per hour hit that goes straight at a professional baseball player is going to be 103 mile per hour out. How many times have we said over the years, warning track power gives you warning track out?
I mean, we saw this, like, all right, Nico Horner, and we're going to talk about the Cubs injuries, which there are quite a few of them. Nico Horner came out of this game after hitting the umpire, Dan Iasonia, like that, who I guess was mispositioned according to Ron Coomer. What are you showing us, Michael? Your beer?
Somebody thought that I was drinking a Milwaukee's Best Light.
Yeah, well, you're angry like a Milwaukee's Best.
That's why I think that's why they said it. But no, it's wicked hazy.
But what was my train of thought? You're throwing me off here, Cotton. Sorry. Well, let's get back to the to talk about this first game. Here's what the thing I did make note of this. This first game, Horner steals a run basically on a Gomes double. You've got Jason Hayward stealing a base, scored on what would have been a Contreras double play. So the Cubs are like, they're being aggressive on the base pass against the team that they knew couldn't handle it. Now, when we played the Diamondbacks, which we'll talk about, it's not going to be the same. They have a much better catcher. It's maybe they don't do that as much.
The Padres catcher can't throw a ball straight.
Yeah,
like he so fucking throws it left of second, right of second. He's all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So I mean, it was the Padres' first caught stealing was in this game of the entire year. Okay, it's May, and they finally get a caught stealing. Now we got to talk about.
We knew the team was bad. I mean, we know they're not good.
Well, they're
Padres, not fast.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying the Cubs. Right. The fact that the Padres got their very first caught stealing versus the Cubs is not super surprising because the Cubs are not like a fucking world beater. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're a Padres beater. Wade Miley Cyrus, pictured here, went out there in game 2 for his first start of the Cub. As a Cub, it didn't go great. He went up against I call him Pippi Long Rocking because that's freaking weirdness.
It is so rocking annoying.
Back and forth. I know, rocking back and forth. And then he was out there looking like Alanis Morissette, like mid 1990s, and it was a bit ironic. Let's talk about Miley. It wasn't great. He would get the first 2 outs, and then couldn't get past that. So he only goes 3 innings. Gives up 3 runs on 5 hits, walks 5, and that's the disconcerting thing. Yeah, that was the thing. And so
and those walks were ugly. Those were like 4 pitch walks. They weren't even like competitive 3-2 like walks. They were fucking just straight up missing.
Yeah, in this game, it was frustrating because the Cubs end up with 10 hits. They take 2 walks. They strike out 12 times, which was a little frustrating. 3 of those were Patrick Wisdom, who did not have a great game. But in the end of this game, I mean, this was going back and forth. Even right in the beginning, like the Cubs had second and third. They had no outs, I believe. And then somebody Ortega got caught up in a rundown, so they don't score in that inning. And then of course, almost
it was
same
it was like a
situation.
chopper, and he was way off. And
He was way
just
off,
got
and
caught. It
and
was
then
just a bad hit.
Contreras got caught out there on a play.
I think the exit velocity wasn't enough on that. I think that's what the problem was.
That's the point I wanted to make. And it was in this game with Nico Horner, is that there were balls that he made that amazing jump throw where, you know, he came around, and he did do an incredible job at that. But Nico giveth and taketh, because like some of those exit velocity balls in the hole, where I've seen Javi smother that ball a million times. Now, maybe he, I don't know, airmails it or something, but a lot of times he didn't, and would get those balls. Nico, it's going off the leather. And it was going off. And so it just wasn't as clean. Nico giveth and taketh. I feel like his range isn't great, but when he can get to the ball, he can make the play. That's kind of how I feel about it.
And that's what makes him a really fucking good second baseman.
And then you got Rivas in front of it. He's Mexican, and he grew up in Southern California, but a lot of his family lives in Mexico. So they all come up to San Diego to see him play. And some of them, it was the first time that his family got to see him play.
Yeah.
And he hits a home run right in front of him, but it wasn't really a home run. It goes off that guy, Azokar's.
He had a little assist of Azokar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was pretty hilarious. So he hits the home run. So like we just come up a bit short, but Gesellman got hit hard. I don't think he's very good, but he's who we got now because the team's got COVID. We'll talk about that in a second. VR was another one who balls were bouncing off his glove. Like his mitt is not great out there. So like, God, it's like, you get 10 hits in this game. You come up short San Diego gets 11. And it just feels like today we end up on the short side of the game or on the long side of the game. Whereas yesterday we went up on the short side.
And we could have easily been on the short side today because, again, that defense today, what inning was it? I think it was the sixth inning. Yeah, they started kicking the ball all over and gave them like 2 or 3 extra outs.
But first, I want to get to game 2. Still at the end of that game, 2 outs. They just kept at it. 2 outs, 2-out rally, like the biggest fake rally of fake rallies that ever fake rallied. And like Suzuki gets on, Hap gets on, everybody gets on. And then Frank the Tank with the chance. All he needs is a single, I think, to go ahead. But he ends up hitting the warning track shot, and you could see the disappointment on his face when it didn't happen. I think we all felt the same about it.
Right.
I did watch the end of this one.
It would have been amazing if he had hit a grand slam, of course. But it's not what they needed. Now, at the same time, he's up there. He's been struggling. Yeah, you just hit the ball hard.
Yeah, if
you can, and you can't fault the guy for almost hitting a home run.
I mean, he was in the middle seat not but 24 hours earlier.
Yeah, I know. His back still hurts,
smelling Jack's farts. Then all right, game 3 today. We'll talk about this game, and then Cubs win 7-5. Another great game by Rivas. It just comes through like really in the clutch at the end, breaks it open with the 2-run single, I think it was. He's now batting .289 with the .887 OPS. Another good game by Ortega. Went 2 for 5. We have Contreras just on fire. He gets the home run. He's now batting .304 with a .935 OPS.
I actually did want to point that out. Like, I'm not exactly sure when they normally do arbitrations, but because the Cubs really haven't done a lot of them over the years, but his arbitration is coming up, and the Ricketts have no leg to stand on here, right? He's just fucking killing it now. He's showing how good a hitter, how good a catcher he is. Like, he's just fucking doing it all. And he's been DH a few times and done well there. He has just all this talent, all this ability. And the Ricketts, don't want to give him an extra like $1 million for this year, which is a year they're going to trade him anyway and never have him again. So they wouldn't even pay the whole thing. Like,
let alone $20 million a year for the next, however many years,
which he's totally worth.
6 years. Yeah. Which exactly he's worth, but they're undervaluing catchers right now for whatever reason. There's like a weird thing going on right now. I think might be DH related, where they'll just go, okay, we can have a guy hit 200 down there because it's still better than a pitcher.
But I thought, Danny, I'm confused. I thought that they were going to create new jobs, all new players who never had a chance. We're going to come into the league and they were going to play DH every day and they were going to fucking hit 800 home runs and it was going to be a wonderful fucking thing. So you're telling me now that that's not how the DH is working? I wonder who knew that coming into this.
Well, they don't care.
The same guy who's fucking pissed off about Kyle Hendricks not getting to go one more out. But I was wrong about that too.
Crawley, you're in the house. I'm
going to grab a beer. Start talking, Crawley.
I'm literally in the house that Stu has built, Club 400, the world's greatest Cubs man cave that you could find, man. I mean, a little bit of everything. There's Sir William right here. So
what's up, William?
Sir William hanging out. This was in front of the VIP. In case you don't know what I'm doing and why I'm not on the show, it is volunteer night getting ready for Stroman event, which is 2 weeks away. We're under 30 tickets. I know that Danny's going to be there. I know Infield Fly Girl's going to be here. I know Bill Sugas is going to be here. I know there's going to be other ranters that'll probably try to come in. This is where all the magic is done. You can see all the worker elves right here. This is not child labor here. These are all people that are agreeing to help out and kind of get everything all kind of set up here. So we are working hard and diligently to make sure that the Stroman event goes off without a hitch.
Yeah, so I'm going to put up the single thing right now. We usually do this at announcements, but Club 400 presents Marcus Stroman Friday, May 27th. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. With your ticket, it includes a picture with Marcus, a swag bag with Marcus's autographed ball, free food, drinks, including beer, live music, including me, auctions, all to benefit 3 great charities. It's the Height Doesn't Measure Heart. There's also the Lost Boys, who this show supports. And on top of it, we're going to be supporting Club 400 as well. So, and all the work that they do throughout the year to keep this thing going, which Crawley's a part of tonight. So, Crawley, how are people feeling there after a big series win, technically the first series win of the year?
We all were able to exhale on that final out, but no one was comfortable until that umpire called that out. I mean, that was not the most. I mean, Ildemaro Vargas, I hope they got him a bus ticket to the Greyhound back to I don't know where. I don't care where. Just not near this team. I can't believe how bad he was today. I mean, I know he wasn't in the lineup.
They can't send him anywhere now that Horner's ankle is the size of a softball.
You're good. Yeah, nice of the umpire to get out of the way, but
yeah, Cubs are banged up, unfortunately, and if it's some stupid fluke stuff, you got COVID going on, and then you got the umpire in your way.
Right. And then, I mean, one thing to keep in mind, though, is that Robel Garcia, if you remember that blast from the past, has been looking really good. So just kind of, God, he was still here, I think, when Madden was here. So we're talking about 2019.
2019, yeah.
So this guy's kind of coming back. He's playing really well. And so
he could never hit an off-speed pitch. That was his issue. Like he just never could.
The other issue was, as you know, the Cubs would always kind of get into these offensive slumps, and I think he was doing really well in the 6-7 hole, and then Joe moved him up. I think batting leadoff
second, yeah,
kind of didn't really work. I would, like I said, what do I know? But I don't know. I think if you kind of put him in the right spot, he may have succeeded. Might have been too much too quick, but we'll see what happens, man. I mean, that was a big series win. It wasn't easy. To scratch out a series win was impressive, but I think I sharped myself when Will Myers hit that fly out that landed exactly where Frank Schwindel's did at the ninth.
Exactly. It was their turn to come up just a little bit short, So, and it felt like they came up short today and we came up short yesterday. It was just like in the same way, like the game was kind of off the rails there was a lot of mistakes made, whether it be on the base paths or weird things happening, injuries in the middle, like all sorts of things. And then it was just two wild games in a row and a gem. And
I don't know what Efros did to piss somebody off, but every time that poor guy gets on the mound, everything just goes to shit. I mean, the guy literally had to get like 6 outs in an inning.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just it. It's like we tried to piss the game away like we did the night before, but we didn't. And somehow it worked out. I mean, the Padres, they weren't playing the tightest. And, I don't know what that's about because they have a winning record coming into playing the Cubs in a really tough division. So to see the Cubs, like after getting pantsed by the Dodgers just 3 days ago, it was nice to see like playing and they're the first place team. And then the second place team, you take 2 or 3 and you could have easily taken 3 of 3.
Right. But could they have been playing down to the Cubs? I mean, we've seen this before from the Cubs perspective. They may have just not been quite ready because they think it's going to be a little easier than it was.
Yeah.
And hats off to Keegan Thompson, who pitched a very good game. And I mean, not great, but I mean, like he kept you in it, And
I'll put up the box here because once again, we thank God tomorrow's off because we used all the pitchers again. It's like we used 5 to get out of this one. Rowan Wick had to do 2 innings, so I don't know if he'll even be available on Friday when the next starts. Givens pitched terribly, gave up the 2 home runs, let them back into the game. Efros pitched 1 inning, but it was really the equivalent of 2 innings. Martin came in, only gave up a hit and got out of it, and Thompson went 4 innings and 61 pitches. So that was 8 pitches short of nice.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, we can't. It feels good. I'm so glad we're doing this show after a win. It's like it would have sucked otherwise.
Imagine how angry I'd be if we had lost.
And the fact is, we're talking about the middle of May to get our first series victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Yeah. It's just so stupid.
So, Crawley, we're going to let you go, get back there. We're going to take it to a commercial break. We've just recapped this entire series. Cubs win it. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. We'll talk about all the injuries. Woohoo, Illinois.
And I'm going to leave the room without closing down.
Thank you.
Club 400 Cubs is where you buy the tickets to Marcus Stroman in that event. I will drop the link in the chat right away. And there are only 30 tickets left. How much does it cost? Like $200, $250,
$200. Yep.
200 bones. That's nothing in this day of an age of inflation. $200 last year. That was only $40.
I can just tell you I'm going to an event June 19th, 18th, 19th, and just to get, not even telling all the guys I got, but just for me to get 2 Jason Hayward autographs is going to cost me roughly $230. And that's no food, no beer, no picture, no nothing. This is the best bargain that you're going to get for the dollar.
Can I ask why you're spending all that $200 on Jason Hayward's autograph?
Because I start projects and I'm a completist, so I got to finish the damn project.
A completist? I never heard of that term.
I have. It's you get that little perfectionist itch, and you're like, oh well, it's not exactly right. I need to get this one thing. Kind of like Crawley and his like. Not being able to get Almora's doing the one little thing.
2016 WS champs.
Not just it's fucking. I'd rather just not even have it if it's not right. I'm with you, Crawley. I understand.
Well, maybe now that he plays for the Reds, you can go over there because nobody's paying attention to him at all. In fact, you could probably sneak onto the field and no one will even notice. So,
well, I hope to see everybody here on May 27th. And how do I get out of here without shutting you guys down?
How about if I just remove you from here and I'll kick you out of the room?
We can kill you. There you go.
I'll kill you. There you go. Okay. So I think he's got to don't end broadcast. He's got to leave studio is what he. So here's a quick commercial break. Please become a Patreon supporter at sunranto.com/Patreon. Here's a quick commercial. We'll be right back to talk about injuries. All over Chicagoland, there are thirsty, frazzled, overworked Cubs podcasters who are struggling to survive one more baseball season in the dog-eat-dog world of unpaid content creation. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can make a difference. Become a super ranter at patreon.com/sunranto, where your support ensures that poor, sad, pathetic, ugly, loser Cubs podcasters can pay for tickets and beer, and in turn line the pockets of the baseball oligarch Ricketts family. Just $1 a month can buy a scorecard. $5 a month can pay for guitar strings to write a Cubs song. And $10 a month almost buys one beer at Wrigley Field. Cubs content creators are the lowest pieces of pond scum garbage that slither over the face of this planet. But super ranters help them get drunk and screw off at baseball games. What do you get out of it? The Sun Ranto Show delivered to your podcatcher without stupid advertisements like the one you're seeing and hearing right now. Plus, at other Super Ranter levels, you can get Cubs music, access to private Sun Ranto pages, the Ranter calendar, and special thanks and Ranter recognition in our live broadcasts. Plus, eligibility for monthly prizes. What does Sun Ranto get out of it? Your money. For tickets and beer. Go to patreon.com/sunranto. That's patreon.com/sunranto. And become a super ranter today. Welcome back to the Sun Ranto Show. So, not the greatest news in the world. The Cubs are pretty banged up right now. It's kind of, I mean, not. I guess you can't call COVID banged up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I
but
wish people would continue to take it a little more, like, I don't know, pay a little more attention to it. Like, it's definitely way better than it was. Like, we're in the end part of this, but you have to get all 27 outs. Like, you can't fucking be one inning away and just quit. Like,
Yeah,
and that feels like where we're at a little bit, and people are starting to get it. Like a bunch of kids at my son's school got it at prom this weekend. You know, it's like,
my sister has it right now, for example. It's like, it's definitely going around again. We're in a wave of it. And it's like, it's just a reality that these baseball teams have to deal with right now, because you can't have that person giving it to the rest of the team. So,
Right.
And that's the main thing. And even though, like, the odds of like, my sister's got a crappy case. Like, she's like, feels like she has the flu, but she's also like has 3 shots and stuff, but it's like, it's not great. You're still sick. So Marcus Stroman, it's not like he just has it and is fine. He might be actually ill and can't pitch right now. So, I mean,
and he might feel fine, but that's not quite up to the level you need to be a Major League Baseball pitcher.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's a level most of us don't understand.
So because of it, we're missing David Robertson, who's on the 10-day. We're missing Marcus Stroman, who's on the 10-day. So I'm not sure. I mean, thank God for the off day tomorrow, because without it, I don't know where we end up. So here's all the things that happened. Sean Newcomb, let me go backwards. So Frank Schwindel was optioned to the Iowa Cubs.
Dude,
that was the start of it. Then he got a flat tire and didn't have to go. Then we select the contract of Adrian Sampson from the Iowa Cubs. So Sampson comes up. We're predicting he's going to get a start. He does not. Marcus Stroman goes to the 10-day. That was the corresponding move. Then they signed free agent Luke Farrell to a minor league contract. Then they get rid of Sampson and they bring up Connor Menez. Now, did Menez pitch? I don't believe he did.
I don't think so. In the chat, we're going to say he did not pitch in the chat. If you have different,
I don't remember seeing Menez pitch. So he gets selected, but then he doesn't pitch. Then, let's see what else we got. Oh yeah. Then, so Adrian Sampson's then sent away. Frank Schwindel comes back. Then David Robertson gets COVID and sent down. Then we get, Ildemaro Vargas from the Iowa Cubs, who comes up and almost ruins the game today. Locke St. John, who had been DFA'd, was then claimed off waivers by the Mets, so we lose him. Nobody cares.
Oh, you are so frustrated too. You never got to see him. You never got to see him play with us. You wanted that so bad. I'm sorry,
I think
Danny.
He pitched with the Cubs. He came up at some point and did something.
Did he earlier in the season?
He had a game. Yeah, he was up. He was up. He definitely was up. And then Michael Hermosillo, unfortunately, has a left quadriceps strain, and he goes on the 10-day, retroactive to May 8th. Then Cubs designate Adrian Sampson, DFA him. Then they place Nick Madrigal on the 10-day with a low back strain. We activate Wade Miley, so he comes back and pitches. We already talked about him. Mark Leiter Jr. then gets recalled from the Iowa Cubs. And then Sean Newcomb, who we just got, a left-hander, he goes on the 10-day with a left ankle sprain. And then you also got Seiya Suzuki kind of banged up a little bit because he hit first base real hard. And today you've got Nico Horner bumping into the umpire, who shouldn't have been where he was. Dan freaking Iasonia in the way. And so that's what you're looking at. And right now, I have no idea who's on this team.
Right. Who's on first? Who's on second? Who's on third? Like, nobody knows.
Some point on Friday morning, I will take a look at the Cubs roster and see, because I imagine there's people getting on planes sitting in middle seats all over America right now and coming to play baseball in Arizona this weekend.
Well, I mean, this is how we got Nico Horner, right? Like, he was on his parents' couch. His season had ended already, and every shortstop we had died. They were buried, they had a funeral, and they brought him up off the couch.
A mass grave of shortstops.
Yeah, a mass grave of shortstops.
Oh man. And and then I asked you today to bring back, because I'm always thinking like, oh, we're gonna be short on time. I don't have enough material for a whole show. And
and you know better.
Yeah, I do know better, but we're doing it anyway, even though the pictures are old. We're going to do a little Where Are They Now?
Where are they now? How I miss those companions who walk the canyons of the night by my side. Where are they now?
We get to see the last guy in that picture, Zach Davies. He's pitching Friday.
I totally forgot to do you Darvish, though. It just totally slipped my mind, because you were like the Blue Friday guys, and
Yeah, that's Blue Friday though. You Darvish is White Flag Friday or whatever day that happened.
Right.
I'll look him
No,
up.
but that's why I just totally I spaced it.
I'll look him up.
So the guys that we could have had, if the front office had decided that the fans were worth giving a good team to, are the ones I'm looking at is Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, and Javi Baez. Now, would we have been better or not? That's always the question. So, I'm going to actually give you these guys based on their OPS plus. We'll start with that. And the order is Anthony Rizzo right now has an OPS plus of 162. 162. And if you're wondering, that would be number one on the Cubs. The best OPS plus is Wilson Contreras at 155. Kyle Schwarber, also doing fairly well, has an OPS of 111, right? 11 points above the 100, which is the even mark of baseball, is 100. So those are the top two. And now we get to Chris Bryant, the golden boy. He is the best ever. I don't know. He's playing out there in Colorado, which is going to possibility of putting him in the Hall of Fame, right? According to Gordon Whitmire, he could probably get there, but his OPS plus is only 92. 92. So that would put him just over Rafael Ortega and just behind Nico Horner on this team if he had a 92. And then we get to Javi Baez, who had some injuries, had some issues, and he's Javi Baez. He's a OPS plus of 87.
Wow.
And that would also put him between Rafael Ortega and Nico Horner. But so I wanted to start with those because I'm not really sure how the math works. As everyone knows, I'm great at math. I love math and algorithms and all this shit. But anyway, so we go up to Anthony Rizzo at the 162. He's got 9 home runs. That's pretty good. This,
well, short porch,
right. But a month into the season, 9 home runs. And yes, he is going to feast on that short porch at Yankee Stadium for sure. That's why he's still there. He's hitting 231, 350, 538 for an 888 OPS. I mean, that 350 OBP is great. Like that's Anthony Rizzo. Like,
why he's the greatest leadoff hitter in history.
Right. We knew who this guy was. Even when he's bad, he's good. It feels like it. And then Kyle Schwarber. So Kyle Schwarber has 7 home runs. Also pretty good, right? That's where we're getting that
box in Philadelphia. I don't know how many are
another bandbox. We have OPS plus of 111. But when we look at his numbers beyond the homers, he's batting 192.
That sounds like him though. Like he's Bam Bam Bigelow. You know what I mean? Like he's
192, 294 OBP, right?
Oh,
OBP, but
brutal.
30% of the time he's still getting on, even with that shitty, he's 100 points better on OBP. And then a 443 slugging for a 727 OPS overall.
You want to hear something crazy too? Because I'm like, oh, he's playing in a bandbox in Philadelphia. 6 of his 7 home runs have come in the away ballpark.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's batting 161 at Citizens Bank and only has 1 dog there at 536 OPS. Yeah, he's got a 195 SOPS plus on the road. So just whatever the hell that means. That means
now. And if you're wondering where the Cubs might sit in some of those, right? We got there's not a single Cub with more home runs than either one of those guys, or even close. 5 home runs is the closest we got. And that's Patrick Wisdom, of course, the all-time rookie season leader in home runs. And then in OPS, we have nobody above Anthony Rizzo, and we have 4 guys above Kyle Schwarber in OPS.
Yeah. And Anthony Rizzo, by the same measure, he has 7 home runs at Yankee Stadium, and only 2 of his home runs are away.
That makes more sense.
He has an SOPS plus of 206 at home and 82 on the road. So, and it's that he hates those hotel beds. We know this about him. He can't sleep at the Comfort Inn. He needs his Sealy beauty rest.
Yep. And he's with the Yankees. So every time he goes to Toronto, he feels all uncomfortable because he's unvaccinated and everybody gives him shit. I
don't know. I think weird. I think he got it now.
I think he did too, because you can't play in Toronto if you don't.
He finished his research and he came to the conclusion that finally
he came to the conclusion that I'm not going to get paid for 19 games out of this year.
Yeah, if I don't get this thing. So
okay, so we get to Chris Bryant. Much bigger park, of course, but Chris Bryant, everybody thought Coors, it's a bigger park, but it's thin air. We're all going to go. 0 home runs for Chris Bryant. None. Nada. He is batting 281 though. That's good. 338.
Yeah, but you're paying
on base.
But you're not paying for 281 for Chris Bryant. You know what I mean? Like, that's not why you give that contract. As first some guy comes up and hits no home runs. Like, it hits 281. Dude, that's like Ildemaro Vargas on a good month. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it is. So, and he's got a 689 OPS. Like, he's below the 700 range there.
And he's injured.
He's injured. Yeah. Right. So
now he is, but
hey, More power to him.
Surprised.
He got the money and he's living in Colorado. That's fun. And then Javi Baez, he has 2 homers. He's hitting 224. That very Javi-like. 267, 353 slugging, only a 620 OPS.
Oof.
He's
267 is, yeah, that's, I mean, and he's been hurt too. So,
but exactly, he's been hurt too. He still is amazing in the field and on the base pad. Like, he's still doing El Mago stuff, even, and that's the thing. It's like, you're gonna get your money out of Javi Baez just based on pure entertainment. And, you know, where you might not get that money out of Chris Bryant if he doesn't start hitting those home runs.
so I want to play a that. You're done, right? That's
Done.
the end of it. Okay. Well, to be honest, like looking at those numbers right now, I don't feel so bad, you know, like except for, I mean, Rizzo, I think they should have locked up. Personally, I think his numbers are worse, but like as much as I like Alfonso Rivas and stuff and what he did today anyway, it was a recency bias. For the most part, I always think that you kind of need one guy to build around, and like first base, that's going to age pretty well. I think he should have been a lifelong Cub. I think you could have built him into the next great Cubs team because he's going to give you that defense, you know, but
Right.
the rest of them, looking at those numbers, as much as I miss Javi specifically,
I'll tell you right now, I would, you know, and it's the same thing as it was way back when, before all this was happening. We were just speculating. I still want Javi and Rizzo. I think those are the 2 that you keep.
yeah,
And
well, it's over.
because they bring, like, yes, Javi's offense isn't great. Rizzo's is going to be like, he's a very consistent guy. And, you know, and Javi gives you everything on defense. I mean, we're seeing what it's like right now to not have that like good shortstop, and it would be great to have him right now. So they give you a little more than just the offensive numbers.
We'll see how he ages. And I wanted to play real quick. I wanted him to come on the show tonight, and he forgot. Bleacher Jeff getting lots of love out there in the world of
Ian
the Cubs.
Happ calling him out fucking in the game.
Yeah,
now, first though,
well, I'm going to play it.
Don't talk to Ian Happ during the game, you fucking assholes. And that's all I'll say about that.
Well, check this out.
I don't know if you guys can find Bleacher Jeff right behind me. Long hair with the beanie right on the corner. That's my guy. Here through thick and thin. Get up! Bleacher Jeff! Excellent placement. Amazing! That's my guy, Bleacher Jeff. What was the velo on the first?
Just incredible. Freaking Bleacher Jeff getting all the love. And if you want to see what else Bleacher Jeff can do with his hands, you should come see the Bleacher Band on May 21st at Output, because, man, he's just living his best life ever. And today, Bleacher Jeff, I drove him to the tow pound. He got his car out. It's like, he's selling it on Carvana now, because he had to get it out to sell it, because it's just had the check engine light, gotten tickets. Like, there's a long Bleacher Jeff story, but things are looking up for Bleacher Jeff. Let me tell you about it. But no, seriously, you think I'm kidding, but that's really what we did today.
Gary Bronner-Meyer points out that he was called out on the Compound podcast last year. You know, and yes, that's awesome too. But I mean, ESPN.
Yeah,
like there are people all over this country like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Bleacher Jeff, who's the most famous Cub fan ever. He's like literally taking over for Ronnie Woo Woo in front of our eyes. It's incredible.
I hope he starts wearing a uniform soon.
So, all right, well, we're going to take another quick commercial break there. We're going to come back and we're going to preview the Diamondback series, and then we're going to talk on the Colorcast app right after that. So join us there.
You guys can come on the Colorcast app and fucking, you know, light me up for what is apparently the worst take on Kyle Hendricks that has ever been taken.
We'll be right back. This is a Cubs fan buying tickets from the Cubs. And this is a Cubs fan buying tickets through the Stubhub link at sunranto.com/Stubhub, knowing that 4% of their ticket purchase will go to the Sun Ranto show instead of into the pockets of rich corporate douchebags. Buy all your tickets through sunranto.com/Stubhub. Don't worry, it won't cost you a single penny extra. It don't stink to click our link. This is an Amazon shopper buying things from Amazon. And this is an Amazon shopper buying things through the links at sunranto.com/Amazon, knowing that up to 10% of their purchase will go to the Sun Ranto show instead of that cocksucker Jeff Bezos, who will just use the money to go to space. Plus, if you buy all your Amazon items through sunranto.com/Amazon, you could win a monthly prize. sunranto.com/Stubhub and sunranto.com/Amazon. Two great ways to support the Sun Ranto show while sticking it to evil corporations who suck. And it won't cost you a single penny. It don't stink to click our link. And thanks to all of you who have been using our StubHub link. I believe they owe us $4 right now. It's pretty awesome.
Ooh, they have
because Cubs tickets
stubbed our hub.
Well, the Cubs tickets are so cheap that you don't really get anything from it. It's like literally between 1% and 4%. It just doesn't add up to much. But thank you for doing it. Maybe someday the Cubs will be good and we'll get money from it because you gave StubHub money. And also one other thing, a little note about our Amazon at sunranto.com/Amazon. We have the Amazon purchaser of the month. We still don't have a catchy name for that. The Sun Ranto Amazon purchaser thing of the month. But last month, the Swerfer, the guy who bought the Swerfer, won.
Oh, and did we find out who that is?
Yeah, finally. Yeah, it was Scott Anderson. He bought his daughter the Swerfer. And so now Scott has won some Bleacher Bum Band shot glasses and also is the proud owner of a Swerfer. And he said they're a lot of fun. Your kids love it.
It looks amazing. I'm thinking about getting a Swerfer.
Yeah, get a Swerfer.
I might have to swerve. And what was it last week that Bleacher Jeff was going to swerve back and forth between your apartments?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? So let's talk about the Diamondbacks. They are 17-15, better than the Cubs. They this past week they swept Miami. Then they won 2 of 3 against Colorado. Then they played Miami right away again, and they won the first 2 games. But then they tied it up in the 8th today in the afternoon, and then Miami knocked out an 8-run 9th and beat them. So they're going to be limping into this next series. That
sounds like a closer that was a little overworked, and maybe they didn't have a closer for that third game. And
I don't know what happened. I just saw that it did happen. So I'll have to look to how that went down. And as far as, they're doing better than people thought. So they have a winning record, which I don't think anybody predicts them to have at the end of this year, but they do now in a tough division. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, that division is somehow better than every other division ever anywhere. Like it's insane that they're all over 500 because they're beating up on everybody else.
Yeah. So their offense, this is in the majors. They're 8th in OPS in the majors. They're 8th in home runs. They're 2nd in walks. So they take their walks, but they are 4th in strikeouts. So they do strike out quite a bit. They're average in stolen bases, but they've scored the 8th fewest runs.
Ooh, that's some good pitching.
Yeah. So Cubs have actually, when I looked this up, which was during today's game, Cubs had scored 1 more run than them. So doesn't feel that way, does it? When it comes to their bullpen too, yeah, you said it's good pitching, but actually they've got the 3rd worst bullpen ERA. So it's starters. Yeah, their bullpen is terrible. And the Cubs are a full run better out of the bullpen. They're average in giving up homers and walks. They're 2nd worst in striking guys out of the bullpen. The Cubs are number 2 in Ks out of the bullpen, right behind, guess who? Surprise, surprise, Cincinnati, the worst team in the majors. And how does that happen? Well, it's when your bullpen takes all the innings. That's how you do it.
Right.
That's how you lead in that stupid stat. So anyway, defensively, Arizona has the third most errors. So hopefully we can just like run rampant on them and wreak havoc on the base paths by just getting on, putting the ball in play. I feel like if you got a team that you're going up against them and they commit a lot of errors, I feel like at that point you can take advantage of that just by hitting the ball. Their 713 is defensive efficiency ratio for you newbies here at the show it's way better than the Cubs 693, which is below league average, and they are above league average. And the weather, it doesn't matter there because they play in a dome. It'll be air conditioned inside because it's going to be 105 on Sunday there, 103 on Saturday with the low of 69.
Nice.
And
That's a nice night.
97 on Friday. So it's going to be hot. These games are at 8:40 Central. These are all Central time. 8:40 on Apple TV. So who knows how the hell we'll watch it? I have no clue. I guess just radio.
DM me, people. Actually, you know what? I will put it on Reddit. So all you assholes that don't want to go to Reddit, I'll put it on the Sun Ranto Reddit. I'll put the link where you can find it because I know how to get baseball.
And well, I don't. So I'm just going to put the radio on and it'll be fine. I'll listen to Pat. They're going to have a fireworks post game. So that should be fun.
Which is awesome because the roof is closed.
Yeah, so watch out. Don't wear anything flammable.
The fireworks will be outside and everybody else is inside not being able to see them because their roof is closed.
Smiley's going to pitch in this game against the Dodgers on May 7th. 3 runs, 2 earned, 4.1 innings, 94 pitches in that one after laboring in the first inning. And they're going to send out our old friend Zach Davies, which let's take a look at what he's been doing. Oh, my God, he's good again. 334 earned run average. His last outing, he got into the 7th inning, 3-hitter, 2 walks, 6 Ks against Colorado. He pitched well against St. Louis. 2 runs, none earned. Only 3 hits through 5 innings. Only 1 walk. He's pitching well. Really only had 1 bad outing where he gave up 5 runs against the Mets in New York. But damn, that sucks. And then the Cubs, they really don't do much against Zach Davies. In 111 overall plate appearances, we're only batting 177.
Oh, wait, David Bodie hit. Oh,
no, yeah, David Bodie's not in this game. But Wilson Contreras does have 2 dongs off of him, and Jason Hayward has a home run off of him. But, I mean, Ian Happ's bad against him.
We didn't even mention, I'm going to mention it real fast. Jason Hayward getting robbed of a home run today.
Yeah.
Brutal. That dude, just brutal for the guy.
Jay Hayes having himself a year, actually. He's doing okay. Game 2 is going to be at 7:10 Central Time. And this, I would assume, is going to be Kyle Hendricks because it would be if you don't – I mean, you get the off day, so you can reset it at that point.
But they haven't announced anybody because they all have to take COVID tests first.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the off day goes. So Hendo, if he doesn't pitch in the Saturday game and they do a bullpen thing, he'll definitely pitch Sunday. So let's just take a look.
I don't know. I think Hendo may not pitch the rest of the year because he threw too many pitches the other night. I think he's done. He was gassed. His arm is a noodle now. He's ruined. He'll never pitch again.
We'll see, dude. If he gets knocked out in the 3rd inning of this game and he has to leave with an injury, you're gonna eat so much crow, it's gonna be ridiculous. So the Diamondbacks against Hendo, there's a lot of experience against him. David Peralta in 21 plate appearances has 5 hits. He's hitting 278, but overall they don't do too good against him. The only home run is from Jordan Luplow. So they don't do great against Hendo, but I don't know. It's a mixed bag. They're seeing him a lot. And we're going to go against Zach Gallen, who's been really good. He went no runs over 5 hits, 7 Ks against Colorado last time he went out there. He's been good this year. He's got a .95 earned run average on the season. So he's only, I mean, he gave up 2 runs in one game against Miami.
And that's what I said. I mean, when you said that they are so bad in scoring runs and they have a over 500 record, that's some good pitching.
And it's the starters, not the bullpen. So get to the bullpen. And then Willie is 2 for 2 against him. And that's it pretty much as far as guys facing Zach Gallen. And then Humberto Castellanos is 2-1 with a 4.32. And he's going to go out there in the last game. He is announced. And now we're getting towards the back of their rotation. He's got last time he went out there, he gave up 3 earned runs through 5.1 against Miami. But before that, he gave up no runs on 4 hits. So we'll see what he gives us. He did get knocked out of a game against St. Louis where he gave up 5 runs through 2. The Andrelton Simmons is the only person that was supposed to be on the Cubs that has ever seen Humberto Castellanos.
Will we get an Andrelton Simmons by what? That's 4 days away or something.
It could be, but we don't necessarily need him because, especially against Humberto, because in his 1 plate appearance he struck out, so we don't really need him. We don't want to see him. So, and then I don't know, like if
this means he's due.
It could be Miley again on Sunday. You know, you could throw I don't know how they're going to set it up. I don't know if Stroman's coming back. There's a lot of moving parts. So he
only has 3 innings on that arm. There's no reason not to, but you have to have, I think with Miley, because he's still, I think, working into game shape. Right. So your best bet, like he went 3. Your best bet on this next start is maybe going to be 4, so you need to have your guys ready and, so they need their Keegan Thompson ready, but he pitched today. And
Adrian Sampson back on the Cubs. Book it.
Gazelman, it's got to be one of those guys or else.
Hit Gahard. So, after this show, we're going on the Colorcast app. Just follow Sun Ranto Show, and you can hang out with us. Bleacher Bum Band is playing on May 21st, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Michael, you're going to be there. And,
I will be there. I will be sitting in the corner hiding because I don't want to talk to any of you people.
So come and make sure to find Michael Cotton and kick him in the face. So I'm dropping the link for that. There is an event on Facebook that you can join, and then you can say, hey, I'm coming to this, and it makes our event look like it's going to be a lot of fun, and then more people see it on Facebook, and then we have a bigger party. So join the event. And also, this is just side note, I'm having a little birthday fundraiser because I'm trying to get new sound equipment at Trapdoor Theater right now. So my birthday's tomorrow, so you don't have to buy me a gift. You don't have to donate to this thing. But I did post it and pin it to my Facebook profile, and I'm doing like a fundraiser for my birthday, how people do. And I'm hoping that I can get a whole new sound system in there by the time that next year's season rolls around.
How much money do you need, Danny?
I don't know, but I'm guessing probably, I would guess $1,000 I could do it for.
You could do it for 1,000. No, that's good.
Yeah.
So people, we're going for $1,690. Let's do it.
Yeah, $1,690.69.
Let's do it.
Nice. So TFC, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Do you have one?
Of course I do.
I have one. Go ahead.
Hold on, I gotta find mine now because it's not where I left. It's not where I left it.
Here's a White Sox fan. Here's the White Sox on Twitter tweeting out today following multiple positive COVID-19 tests with the Cleveland Guardians organization. Today's game has been postponed to allow for continued testing and contact tracing. Major League Baseball will provide a rescheduling update when it becomes available. And a White Sox fan immediately replied to the Chicago White Sox Twitter account, who has no say in anything, immediately replied, this is Justin, says, want a refund. not tickets to another game, a refund. If we're still canceling games to COVID in 2022, I'm not risking taking another day off for this shit. Like, dude, nobody asked you.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you. Like, sorry. A refund, Twitter guy. I want a refund.
Well, a refund. I mean, then you'll probably get a refund. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Know that you will. If it's a Cubs game, you will not get a refund. You got to go to that game, and that's game only. That's our policy. Twitter.
Yeah,
I think White Sox are. I don't like their policy. White Sox got a better one. I think it's you can hand the tickets in and get a different tier or something. I think they got it better, but
because there's always seats open.
Yeah, they're like, that's fine. Whatever you need to do, come back whenever.
Okay. So yes, I was on Reddit. I made my opinion about Kyle Hendricks getting a 26 out shutout ruined for him. And this dude. So a number of people, very similar to how our chat was laid into me. A number of people laid into me, but this guy comes out on top. So he said, it's bands. I'm not a huge fan of Ross as a manager, but the reasoning behind this take is horrendous. Kay Henny had 116 pitches and a hot hitter coming up. Okay. Hold on.
Kay Henny.
You don't get to say Kay Henny for any goddamn reason ever. That's a TFC. 100% right there.
No, it's Dr. Hendo and Mr. Kyle to you. And we got Dr. Hendo, except for I think we're going to get Mr. Kyle on Sunday because he just pitched too much.
Right. But you can say Hendo, you can say Professor, you can say Kyle. No one has ever said Kay Henny. What the that's like that makes me think it's like a children's book, like Kay Henny Penny or some shit. Like what? Who is Kay Henny?
It is nobody. Just like that guy that posted.
But it's like those dudes. Like I think Saturday Night Live did a skit. They're like, oh, bro, yo, the Kay Henny. I love the Kay Henny. Kay Henny is ruling. Stuff like that.
Well, it's your last chance to get your chance in the chat. Hashtag capital C chance. And you could win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me. And then please join us on the Colorcast app right after here.
Yeah, you can talk to M. Cotty on the Colorcast app.
Here we go. Chance for a chance. Bernie Barron! Congratulations. She was part of the crew on my birthday. We had a great time out there. So congratulations, Bernie. You are the winner of Chance for a Chance. Look for that postcard in the mail. And plus, I owe a lot of people Bleacher Bum Band shot glasses and things like that. So you'll be getting those. I'm going to be getting those out sometime this weekend.
I still owe Sonny Sarah's and John Vasky hats. And they are coming, people. I am actually getting them made for you.
Fancy. So, Spagog, everybody, we'll see you on the Colorcast app directly after this. I'm just going to, what song should I play? How about a little bit of, I'm not in the Blue Friday. Let's do Cup Snake Guy. This is the old version. This isn't even Bleacher Bum Band version, but here we go. Spagog.
Spagog!
Took the train from Barrington to get drunk and have some fun in the bleachers. Fireballs at Cubby Bear with his friends, he doesn't care if he's late. He boos and screams and cheers and he pounds a dozen beers in the bleachers. But the highlight of his day was when he made a cup snake. They piled it high and piled it higher. Left field sucks came from the choir. They stacked those cups for 27 rows. How beautifully built till a mean red-shirted usher said, buddy, I think it's time to go. He's the cup snake guy. Chases Jägermeister with a Mai Tai. But the best part of the game was stacking cups up in the ninth. He's a cup snake guy. Well, he came to see the Cubs, but instead he's stacking cups in the bleachers. He was too drunk by the fourth to care about the score of the game. But he's reaching for the sky, heaping cups up super high in the bleachers. Worth $100 he paid to get drunk and make a cup snake. Everything felt so fantastic, holding his pillar of plastic, a monument to Wrigley's drunken fans. Beer and dip spit raining showers from the massive slobber tower. Thank God they gave them cups instead of cans. He's a cup snake guy. Gonna lose his Terrio jersey tonight. And the best part of the game was stacking cups up in the ninth. He's a cup snake guy. He's from the suburbs and he's usually white. And the best part of the game was stacking cups up in